So the idea for Roll for the Galaxy is, well, obviously you're going to generate points or get points. You win, or the game ends whenever someone has 12 total tiles built, okay? The types of tiles there are settlements and developments, okay? Circles and diamonds. At the beginning of the game, we're each going to get randomly one of these, so I'll just flip one over to talk about it. That's boring. And we'll also get one of these tiles. So you can see you're going to start with some settlements and developments. Each of these developments will allow you to do certain things. Settlements allow you to do certain things. I'll explain that as we go. And then throughout the game, we're going to be getting tiles from this bag that you're going to place. And each tile has basically a settlement and a development on it. So we're actually going to start the game each with 2 tiles. We can figure out how we want to place them. And then over the game, you're going to be, you start with something like this, and over the game, you're going to be adding things up there. When you have 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 total tiles, that ends the game. Now, how the game works, let's see, red, green, and I am blue. So the game works is basically, we each have a little board like this. So has anyone played Race for the Galaxy? No, okay.
I don't think so.
So what we're going to do is we're going to get a bunch of dice. Dice are called our citizens, basically, and there's different colors dice. The different colors have different faces, and you can see in the bottom corner of that screen sort of the breakdown. But basically there are explore faces that let you either
No.
So explore faces will let you either get money. So for each explore face, you can get $2, or you can use it to get tiles out of the bag. Okay. And so the way the game works, essentially, and then I'll explain what each of the faces do, is behind your screen, you're going to roll your dice. You're going to see what they are, and then you basically can use any dice to choose which action you want to do. You don't have to match the face with that action. So I could use the Explorer to produce, for example, or to settle.
Okay.
Dice that, the rest of your dice, though, do have to match. So you match them up. And what that allows you to do is, if I decided to develop, that's worth 2 development now. So that's sort of how you use your dice. There are ways to manipulate the dice. So there's ways to allow you to put dice in other places. So for example, we all start with this reassignment on the sheet. And what that means is you can put one die in the reassignment, and then you can put another die on anywhere you want. So I could use that to reassign this development die to a settle, which will allow me to do 2 settlement. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. All right, repeat that.
Okay, so starting over, let's just say I had, let's say these were my dice and I rolled.
Okay.
Now, what I like to do behind my screen is first I just match them all up with their faces.
Okay.
So I can say, okay, out of the gate, this is essentially what I can do. Now, each of us will individually be picking an action that you want to do.
Right.
The benefit is everyone else gets to follow. So let's say I wanted to do a settle action, because I'm trying to get this built. I could put any die I want on the settle. Doesn't matter what that face is. And that means in this game, in this round, we're all going to get to do a settle action. So that means I would get to do 2 settle to put on there. Now, there are abilities to manipulate where the dice sit. So I may say, okay, I want to settle. Let's say I need to do 3 to get this out. I'm going to put 1 up here, which is in my reassignment. And then I can take another die and I can reassign it to settle.
All right. So I can spend a die to use the reassign twice.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, any dice that gets used. So in this case, my 3 dice that I used would end up here. I don't have all that I need to settle it yet, so they'll just stay till the next round. If I did, this would get settled, and these guys come back to here. So any spent dice come back up here, and I have to buy them to reuse them again.
Okay. And so you said everyone can do a settlement action.
So everyone would have gotten to do a settle action, and you'll notice this one is under produce.
All right.
If one of you picked produce, I now have 1 die ready for the production action, so I can then do a production action as well.
So can you do a settle action if you didn't assign any dice to the settle? So if you assigned dice to settle, but I did not.
Correct.
So
then
I technically can do an action, but I can't actually do anything.
You can't follow on the settle. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right.
But with 3 people, right, chances are we're going to pick a couple different things.
Yeah.
So the different actions. Explore lets you get $2, and this is how you track your money. $2 or get tiles from the bag. And it's basically one tile per die. So you could have, right, I could have a whole bunch of things here, and it's done one at a time. So I could split this however I want. I could get 2 tiles from the bag and $4, etc. You know, whichever way you want.
Okay.
There's also one other thing when you're getting a tile from the bag is you could, you know, you're going to end up with a stack of things here, right? So you may have a stack of stuff. I could use one to get some tiles from the bag, place it, like a tile from the bag, place it, and then decide, oh no, I really don't want that. With my second one, I can put this one over here out of the way and now take 2 and keep 2. So there's a way to allow you to sort of get a couple extra and make decisions. So that's what the settle or the explore action is. The development action, all it does is put dice on development. So here, if I had a couple development, right? Let's do 3. So if I did this, this allows me to put 3 dice on develop. You'll notice this one only costs 1. Right here, I'll flip it over. So if I put all 3 on here, they'll fall through. So the first one allows me to develop this tile, and those 2 now will sit here ready to go. And anytime you want at the beginning when you go to roll your dice, you can take those back. So if I wanted to take these back when it's time to roll, I could do that. So that's the development action. Hey James.
Oh,
Hi.
Oh my. We're just about to play, have you played Roll for the Galaxy before?
No, you guys can know it.
oh,
Okay. Settle, same as development, it's just for the planets. Produce will allow you, so you'll notice different planets have different colors, right? So I've got a yellow planet and a brown planet.
Mhm.
So if I choose to produce, I can then put a die on that planet from here. So I'm basically creating a good on the planet. There's a couple planets that don't get anything. But yeah, so that lets me, and I'm just explaining the game if you want to.
I'm gonna listen in.
Okay.
Cause I have Race for the Galaxy, but I've never played Roll.
Well, we can, I mean, you want to, we're just
No,
starting.
you guys can go ahead.
Is that fine? We can add you in if you want.
It's good.
Okay, so the brown planets produce brown goods, technically, the yellow produce yellow goods. The color of the die you put on it doesn't matter for production purposes. It will matter in shipping, and I'll explain that in a second.
okay.
But you would just put a die on the planet, and then when you go to ship, you have basically 2 options. So like Race for the Galaxy, you have 2 options. You can either ship for points or ship for money. If you ship for money, you get the money based on the color of the planet, not the color of the die. So there's a little chart in the upper right, and it's 3. You get $3 for blue goods, $4 for brown goods, etc.
Okay.
If you ship for points, you get the number of points based on matching colors. So if you shipped with for argument's sake here, if I shipped with a brown die and I ship this good, then I've got to match, I match 2 of the colors. The die matches the planet, so that gets me 2 points. If I match all 3, I think it was 3 points. Yep. So you get at least a point for shipping, period. You could get up to 3 points if you had a brown ship shipping a brown good on a brown planet. That's all.
Okay.
I've really never seen anyone win in this game just on shipping points. I've seen it mostly in the points you get for all the tiles. The number on the tile is also the number of points it's worth.
Got it.
Okay.
Only other thing is each of those tiles have different powers. So and it's open information, so I can help explain what they do. But a lot of the developments let you do, either use points for something or use dice for something differently, or allow you to do an assignment, or sometimes it'll give you money or other things for each action. That's basically it. Only other thing is in the expansion, you'll notice there's a couple dice that have more than one symbol on it. That lets you choose where you want to put it. So this one is settle or develop. So I could choose to put it here. And the benefit is if nobody chose develop, I actually can shift it to settle. So that's a neat thing. And they also have, some of them have a $sign on it, which just means you get $1 when you use that die, so you don't lose the money. The way you get your dice back is, so let's say I had $4. Each die costs $1 to put in my cup. That's how you play.
Okay.
So now I just got to remember how much dice we get. That's about it. Any questions? Okay. So take. Let's see, is there a right So why don't we each, we'll randomly take one of these,
Okay.
and take one of those, and add a new dice. Each player puts 2 white dice and 1 black die in the cup. Okay, so 2 white dice and a black die. Red and black. So yeah, so the black die gives you a little bit more benefit. Those go in your cup. And
Alright, so the dollar sign, when there's 2 symbols, the dollar sign is you get money and...
you can still do the action.
Right, and the one where it's the other one is you get to choose which one is an or, essentially?
Yeah,
This
so you
is
choose,
reassigned.
yep, exactly. And it can be reassigned. So if
Yeah.
the other thing, if you didn't do the action, you're just using it to follow, you can reassign it if that action did come up.
Okay.
The dollar happens during the phase if that phase happens, basically. Okay. What else? Oh, I gotta find how much other dice we get. I think that's everything.
Alright.
So we have 1 big tile, 1 small tile? Sure.
Yep, 1 big, 1 small. And then we get stuff based on what it says. Okay. So we each get 2 extra white dice on your planet.
Does this take effect now? The effect on the bottom of the card?
It will.
And starting, yeah, I need a red die and a yellow die.
So red and yellow,
Got an orange and a blue.
orange and blue, and I need to grab leggings. And those go on your.
Into your, no, one
They go
says-
wherever it says.
Yeah, into the cup, and then the citizenry is the one on the thing.
On the board, yeah.
Okay.
Are these just... These also go into the cup?
So those 2 go on your board.
Oh, okay.
And that board can be in front of the screen. So
Oh,
that,
actually, I've got one more in my citizenry then.
yeah, gain an additional white. Okay, so here, whenever you do an explore,
Mhm.
you'll get $1 for each scout task. Scout is getting tiles.
Okay.
Or, I'm sorry, scout is abandoning a tile. So remember I said you can abandon, get rid of tiles?
Okay.
Alright, I need to do this. I'm gonna close this for now.
That's fine. I don't know we're gonna die.
It's not too bad. Get this out of the way. And so the main board can be in front. So the only thing you have to hide is essentially your dice. Like when you're doing the, it's just because, we don't want to, theoretically, you don't want to know what someone else is rolling. Okay, what do I get? I can read some, I get an orange die, cinnamon, and a novel. See on the world. Okay. Everything makes sense so far?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. And so we all start with $1, and, oh, I forgot, we all start with some tiles. That's the only other thing, right? There's player map. Let's see, right initial tiles. Each player draws, oh yeah. So everyone gets to draw randomly 2 tiles, and then you have to put 1 on the settle and 1 on the develop. So you have to choose each one. So each one has planets and diamonds. So you have to choose one of each.
Develop is the circle, right?
Hmm?
Is develop the circle with the diamonds?
Settle is the circle, develop is the diamond.
Okay.
Oh, I'm supposed to figure out how many points. 36. Yeah, 36. And there's 36 victory. So the game can either end 12 tiles or if the victory point pile runs out. Wow, my math was bad. Right? 20, 36. Okay. So each turn, pretty straightforward. We just roll our dice behind our screen. And this is basically the actions that we can take. So right now, until we choose things, right, there's no actions being taken. And this way, we sort of get to choose. So yeah, that's it.
That was going to change it.
Oh god, what's the asterisk?
Oh gosh, I'm sorry. That's a wild card, so it can be any face you want.
Oh, alright.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Oh my!
Make sure I don't do anything wrong on the dollar sign thing, because that's sort of new. Got it. Oh, okay. So the dollar sign on the die, what it really means is that die, if you do the face, that if you perform the task with it, it goes back into your cup rather than onto the board. That's
Okay, so alright. And then if you use it as a wild or whatever, if you put it on this little track, does it still go back
Yep,
in your
same
cup?
thing. Yep. It always goes back to your cup, basically. When it's spent, it goes to your cup. That's what it means. Okay, I'm ready when you guys are.
Again, do I need to ship to use this?
Yes, for that to happen, the shipping, you don't have to ship, but shipping has to happen, basically.
Got it.
Let me see what that is. So ship, +1 for every 2 red dice in your citizenry. Yeah, so as long as somebody ships, that would happen, as long as there's dice in your citizenry there.
Okay.
Okay, whenever you guys are ready. I guess I should get that in the picture here.
Oh, you don't have to do that. Nobody wants that.
Everybody wants it. There you go.
Zoom in.
Oh,
Alright.
Doors.
Okay, so I'm going to just reveal.
Okay.
So
I
we
just
got-
went with the.
Yeah, so we got 2 settles and a develop, right? So that means we'll do these, and we do them in order. Clearly, it doesn't matter who's
Alright,
doing what.
alright. So going to spend. So to spend, I put them on here.
Yeah.
And then I want. Alright.
Well, not to spend. No, so
Sorry.
let me. You can only. I'm sorry, I didn't explain that properly. You can only choose one action.
Okay.
So
Oh,
you're
okay.
choosing one action,
Got it.
hoping. So in this case,
Right.
that settle that you have there, because we both pick settle, you'll get to do.
Okay.
Because you get to do all the actions that are that everyone's picked.
Alright.
So that black die, you'll get to actually settle on this turn. Does that make sense? How about we walk through
Alright.
it?
Yes. Yeah.
And
Let's
if we
walk,
wanna
let's walk through it.
We can always
Okay.
reverse. So in order, nobody chose to explore. Anyone who chose to follow explore but didn't get to do it, that just goes back in your cup.
Okay. That's fine.
So unspent.
Alright.
Now we do develop. Now I don't have a development, so I don't get to do anything. You have 2 dice on your develop.
Yep.
So those go onto here.
Alright.
And now you get to develop this, which means that goes up to your tableau.
Okay.
And anything special here you would get to do if that happened, but otherwise the dice go here.
Alright.
And then you follow develop, so that die can come onto here.
Okay.
Okay, that's developed, so we're done with that.
Right.
Now, we both chose settle, so we both get to do our settle. So for example, I'll do mine really quick here. So I'm going to put 2 on there. Now this black die goes back in my cup. This one comes here. I do my settlement. This says gain a military die in my citizenry when I place it, so I get an extra die. It comes here. Now you did your settle.
Yeah, I had one on the settle, so I put it there. And
Oh wait, this is a development though. Settlement would be that. So.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to rearrange those at all?
Sure.
I meant the tiles, or
um,
do that. One of these has to be settled. Planet. One
okay.
has
Oh,
to be
yeah, I
developed.
wasn't looking at the shape.
Okay, so you could do that, and that would come up here.
Okay.
And then Matt, you've got 1,
Yep.
so you can do that, and that
Alright.
die will go back in your cup,
Okay.
and you get to do that. And it looks like you're going to get a red
Red
die in
die,
your
yeah.
cup, right?
Yep.
Right.
That's it.
Now what do we do?
Actually,
in
looks
my
like it
cup.
goes in the
Yep.
cup.
What do we do with this die?
That was on the settle.
Yeah.
Then that goes on here as well.
Okay.
This was the one you used, and that was a follow. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, this is, yeah.
So
No,
you
it's
use
reversed.
This
I
to
use this
pick.
one as settle, and then this one is the follow.
No, you can't. This one has to be the one you use to pick, because you can only follow if the symbol matches
Oh.
that phase.
Got it, okay.
Just like this. Yep, okay. So then nobody produced, nobody shipped, so if you had dice there, they go back in your cup.
Okay.
And then the last thing you can do is you can spend $1, since we all have $1, to put one more die back in your cup.
Okay.
And yes, Matt?
Alright, so my thing gets shipped +1 for every 2 military dice in your system right at the end of the
If
phase.
someone shipped.
So if anyone ships, so I didn't actually have to follow.
Correct. Yeah, you don't have to follow. It's just
Okay,
if someone
got it.
does a shipment action.
Got it.
Okay.
Alright.
So that die goes back in your cup because it wasn't used.
Okay. Now I can place this one because it's got 2?
No, that takes. I'm sorry,
Oh,
that
4.
costs 4.
Okay.
And that costs 5. That's why I was asking if you wanted to rearrange
Got it.
those so they could be cheaper.
Okay, well,
We can redo it.
no, it's fine.
That doesn't matter.
It's all right.
They're not going to be much cheaper because this will be, I think, a develop or a world of 2, and that's probably a settle or a development of 3 or something.
Okay.
Okay. So then.
But then putting a die back in
spend
the
one
cup,
die back
one
in
of
the cup.
these, right?
Yeah. Anything in your system.
Okay.
And you can do the same. So you spend 1, and then your thing goes automatically back to 1. So you always have at least $1. And then you can choose if you want to take any of these back into your cup for rolling.
But not this one.
But not that one.
Okay. No, I'm good.
Okay. So then we put that in our cup and we roll again. Okay. Early on, it's a little straightforward. It gets more complex as we get more dice and more things happen. Where's the Glenview Grind? Oh, that's by you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's on Glenview Road. It's used to be up at Glenview and Waukegan.
Okay.
They have since moved over towards right next to the Glenview House.
Okay.
They have a drive-through now,
Oh.
which is the weirdest drive-through I've ever seen because I can't figure out how to get into it without cutting across traffic, which technically you're not supposed to do from that turn lane. Hmm.
I think it'll work.
Ready whenever you guys are.
Okay.
Matt's got decisions. He has more dice.
I'm
Alright.
Okay. So, surprise, explore and settle.
okay.
So first explore. So you can choose to get tiles, which I think is one thing you're gonna do. I'm gonna take. I know I want at least 1 tile, so I will come grab it.
Alright, so when you explore, how does that work exactly? So how many tiles do I take for 1 dice of
You
explore?
take 1 tile for 1 die. If you decide on another turn to abandon a tile, then you take 1 plus the number of tiles you've abandoned.
Okay.
And then you get to keep those 1 plus. So it's basically, you're always going to keep the same number of tiles. I'll do that. So I'm going to put that over here. I will spend my other 2 to explore just to get money. Because I don't have any money.
Okay. And I will also do that. So what, I put them back in, but I do get money from it?
Yeah, so you'll get $4 for that.
Okay.
But your black die also will go back into your cup.
That one doesn't have
Oh, I'm sorry,
$1
wrong
in it.
one. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, I apologize. And the red that you used
I know this
also
one's
goes over here.
Got it.
Okay, and then settle is.
Settle is.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Yeah. Oh, you're doing explore too. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
This would follow.
All right. So.
So now you can either take money or a tile.
I'll take a tile, but I get $1 for taking a tile.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So you can do that. And this guy gets to move up, right? To 2.
Right, now where does this go?
So you get to choose where you want to put it on those stacks.
I guess I'll put it here because this looks cheaper.
That would be cheaper to develop, yeah.
And that orange goes back in the cup immediately.
No, you never spent it, so it stays there. And I'm trying to remember if you put it on. I think you put it on top.
Okay. Because I didn't see any discard mechanic.
Yeah. There is a discard mechanic. Yeah, the discard mechanic is that scout action. So
Okay, so when you
Um,
toss something, you then
so for example, if I were to say I wanted to scout, I could take this one tile, put it away, put it aside, and it's going to go away. It'll go back in the bag basically. And then instead of drawing one tile, I get to draw two tiles.
Okay. Interesting.
Oh, got it. Yeah, it's explains here on the scout thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Alright. So you might explore and then settle. This goes back.
So that'll go back in your cup after you do it, and you settle that. So all of those dice come to here because you have 4 total.
Oh,
The black
because
is
that counted.
counted.
And then that moves down here.
Yep.
Okay.
And so then it says something.
Gain a consumption and a military, so purple and red.
Ooh, purple.
Yeah. Cool.
And where do they go?
They go in my cup.
That says your
Well,
citizen.
citizenry, but.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
And then nobody did produce.
Nobody did produce.
So then this just goes away.
And then we can buy dice with the money we have, and we go
Okay.
again.
All right.
Any questions?
Alright, so the produce action is
Hi there.
Hi, Mary.
so in the you have to produce a good in order to ship it.
I'm still
Yes.
wearing my shoes.
Okay.
I should not be
And how do we signify production?
Well, you can't.
Like if
produce.
for example I had this, I
Yes.
produced a good there,
Yes.
and how would I signify that there was a
So
blue
you
production?
take the die that you
So
used to
I'd be
produce.
here and then it would just stay
Perfect.
there,
Yep.
not in the citizen.
Yep. Exactly.
And then could I then take that back, like when it's on one of these?
I think you can. Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure you can though. I think at any point you can withdraw set dice that are out there. That's a great question.
Which kind?
Roll the galaxy.
I don't know the answer. I'll look. I'll try to find that one while we're playing. But,
I don't think I intend to do that during the
Okay.
game, but
but it's a good question. So then we should be able to roll.
Okay.
Did you buy dice?
Dice are how much?
So $1 per die.
All right. I will buy 2 of just any color.
Just what's in here.
Oh, just okay.
Yeah.
And then the ones on the tray also go back.
You used it for explore, so it would have gone here.
Oh, okay.
so that's number
But
5.
then nothing else
so
goes
I
back.
get one back.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Always get a
That's
dollar.
not
That's
gonna be
right.
the thing, yep.
Not yet. Oh, what am I gonna do?
Well, I guess that is interesting.
That was on purpose, yeah, his
Yeah.
coat
Yeah.
had and saw that.
Should I have moved one of these or?
No,
No. Okay.
you can't. Once they're there, you can't move them. So they're sort of stuck where they are.
Okay.
I'm ready whenever.
Okay.
Okay.
So we've
I
got.
think I did overkill on this one.
Not necessarily. So we're doing all 3 phases. Or all, we're
Yeah,
all
chose
chose different
phases.
ones. So explore, so you get to explore first. Wow.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
And then these go back in the citizenry, and I got 6.
Yeah, unless you wanted more tiles, because you can always get more tiles too.
Oh yeah, I could also get more tiles.
Mhm.
Let's see. So can I decide, like after I decide what to do with this one?
Yeah.
Take more tiles?
Yeah, it's one at a time.
And can I abandon this tile?
You can.
The thing? Alright.
I'm sure I did this right.
What are you trying to do?
No. Develop.
So yeah, these are followings. That's right. You needed to pick it with something, so
Mhm.
that's right. This will let you develop this one and get 1 or
One.
2 towards that,
Okay. Nice.
which is fine. You
Okay.
don't really have any, unless you wanted to do like, and we can't do it now, but you could have, if you wanted to, you could do something like this to follow the explorer.
Okay.
in case
Or
you wanted to get money or something.
yeah, well, nobody produced, so I might as well just move that.
Well, you can't move it, so you
Oh,
don't
okay.
know.
Oh, got
You
it.
don't actually know that no one produced. Someone might have produced.
Okay. But once
But-
they're out, they're out.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only ones you can move around are the ones that have two faces, basically.
Okay.
But you could go ahead and do your develop because it doesn't make
Okay.
you
So
can
then
develop
that would move down here. This
Yep.
goes to the citizenry.
as well as
As the
the
red
one you
die.
spent. Well, no, actually,
well-
actually put it back for a second. So let's go one at a time. So
Okay.
you use, let's say you use that one
Mhm.
plus the die that was on it
To
produced. That
finish.
goes back in your cup.
Okay.
Now these two go onto here,
Okay.
and that's it for develop. That costs 5, so you can't do anything more there. No one produced, so that'll go back in the cup.
Okay.
Now on your next turn, you can decide do you want to pull these back into your cup if you want more dice, for example.
That is. Does it have to be both, or can it be
Yeah,
just?
it can be whatever.
Okay.
And then I chose settle, so you can do your settle action.
Okay. Settle Gary Collins.
Expensive.
I'm gonna get a red and a brown into the citizenry.
Alright. I get a blue as this name.
Okay. And I'm going to
Just
just.
5 die. And I don't have any
Go ahead
money.
and watch though. I'll just pull one of these back. There's a lot of white dice up there. We have to pay to bring these spent dice back into our cups.
And these guys, so something I didn't fully mention, if you do a reassignment,
Mhm.
that die comes back in your cup. So the one that I put over here to reassign someone else
Yeah.
just comes back to my cup.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So you haven't done it yet, I would have mentioned.
No, I just completely forgot that I can do that.
It helps a lot.
Ooh. Now that's interesting.
Oh my god, he rolled that.
What?
What's wrong with you,
What kind
man?
of strategy roll was that?
I like that. That's much better.
And do you think some more folks will be here at once, or have a big group?
I know Catherine was planning on coming before her tattoo.
She's getting a tattoo?
Yeah.
Oh.
So she's got an appointment at 4, I think it was.
She's not following everyone in Cubs tattoos, I hope.
No, she said it's gonna be something
Something
Catherine-y on her arm.
engagement-y related. Catherine, that'd be
I don't
cool.
know. Could be, mythology related.
Yeah, that's what I meant by
Yeah.
Catherine-y. Like,
Yeah.
but I forget exactly what she said she was getting.
Fun.
I think it's actually because she just got a new job, so.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
I don't know. Where'd she?
So she's going to be, I forget, like I know but I forget, you know?
Yeah.
But she's gonna be like director of housing or something for,
Oh, that's cool.
a I think it's I mean it's a nonprofit here in town, I can't remember the name of the nonprofit.
Okay.
If she shows up, then you can probably just ask her.
Yeah.
No, that sounds like a good idea.
It's Alexian Brothers, that's what it is.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So she's doing something for them.
Okay.
So what
Sorry.
did I do with
He's
this?
definitely played Kerbals.
Yes.
Yeah. Good old Vicar rolls.
I haven't played Kerbals.
I haven't, well actually no, I played a little bit.
Yeah, you played a little bit.
Oh, yeah,
I have 200 hours of Kerbals.
Oh, that's a good number of That's a number of hours.
That's almost as many hours as I have in Team Fortress 2.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Civ 6.
No.
Not
I
yet.
haven't even. I was waiting for Stellaris to get patched
Got it.
before trying to fire that one up. And, yeah.
Yes.
And
Okay.
I have kind of an allergy to any sort of building games just because I've played way too many. Now this is Civ 1.
Yeah.
I've played way too many sessions where I get nuked by Gandhi.
Did you know that was a bug?
Yeah, I'm sure it was because it kept happening to me.
Well, it was, they used, like, India had the lowest ability to use nukes, and so it was like an easier from like 1 to 16 or something.
Mhm.
But democracy gave you like -2 to your ability to use nukes, and so it went negative, and so
It went back
the
to
one went
Oh.
to 15
Really?
when India went democracy, and so that was a bug in the original Civ. And after that, they decided to keep it going forward just because it was so funny.
Okay.
Just settle, so you can do that
Okay.
again.
Okay.
That's really funny. The bug.
And it makes perfect sense.
It does. No, you're right.
Wow. Interesting. I feel like that's too late.
Very peaceful.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
groovy in there.
When it says you may remove one military die, does that mean you remove it from your citizenry?
Yeah.
Like,
I think
you just
can
remove, like you just throw it away?
Yeah, it
basically?
goes back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Weird. Is that from yours or anyone's?
No, it's
No,
from his.
no,
Just
okay.
his.
Oh, we don't really have anything that affects anyone else?
No, it's pretty solitary.
Okay.
Other than the phase selection thing, where you're sort of banking on, hey, maybe someone's going to explore because they don't have any money or talents.
Yeah, that would have worked.
Why not?
Oh, you have money. Hey.
And you get to do your development.
Okay, so that'll go back in the cup.
No, actually, because you've got to put it here. It's not
Oh.
used yet.
Okay, so then
Oh,
those follow.
Because you need one more to finish that development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nuts. Okay. And then this does nothing.
Back in your cup.
Let's rock it.
I
Now you
screwed
can buy
myself
one
for
of
next
them.
turn.
You can buy one of these and you'll finish your development.
Okay.
And did you do your?
I did not. So,
Okay.
so I
Oh
just.
my. Go to Mad Rush.
Okay. And so,
So-
now I develop.
Yep,
So,
so one
3
of
on
those.
there. So 1,
Yep, and then, oh my.
2,
Your, this is called Endgame Rush.
and then.
So one would hang out on there, basically.
Okay. And then
Okay.
this one.
Yep.
Neat.
Alright,
Alright,
you
and so does 12 include this? Does this count as
Yeah.
1?
that counts as 2. So you
Okay.
got 8.
2. Okay. And so 5.
I haven't posted anything today. This is no good. Oh.
Well, no, you can choose to use one of those dice to do develop no matter what.
Okay.
Because you get to choose to put one on the top line. Really?
Horrible. Oh.
Turn on our stabilizers.
I just want to yell in the other room for no reason.
Don't do it. Bailout! We're cutting your funding. We're replacing Jebediah with robots. Really happy robots.
Any recording we can do? I don't know that I necessarily want him getting out of the pod. Oh, you think out of the pod? God, I think, actually, I think we can.
Okay, when it says reassign,
Yes.
what does that mean?
So what? this
So
one
I can
here?
reassign. All right. So if
So
I
you can
roll,
reassign
if I
one
roll the red
military-
diamond.
Yeah, whatever. So you can reassign that red, or a brown die to any phase. So you can
Okay.
reassign only one, but to any phase you want.
Got it.
So, like as the follower, basically.
And I can do that at any point. So if I see no one's done a
No,
develop, can
only before we do the
I?
reveal.
Got it.
Yeah. Good question. Did I seriously roll what I did? Oh, jeez. I'm doing this all
Why
backwards.
is he looking off? Isn't that good?
Use the grappling hook.
I didn't give you a grappling hook. I haven't researched that yet.
What? That should be the first thing you research.
Everything's just fine.
There's nothing to see here.
Nothing is wrong. There's not been an incident in orbit.
Right. Okay, I'm good.
That one not free towards the ocean. We're not though. Oh, no, he's going down. Yeah, no, he's.
Oh.
So he's going creeping towards land is what's happening.
Oh, well, that's so much better.
Well, all the budget, can we review the report?
All right. You ready?
Okay.
So this is I screwed up. Shoot. That's what I screwed up on.
That's okay. I'm
And to,
apparently living in slum
So
town.
I'm exploring, and then there's
so there's a develop. You're exploring, and I was sure,
It has to be like.
And nobody produced.
and nobody produced, which is unfortunate for me too. Okay, so exploration. Go ahead and explore the fantasy.
Because it's
I will also explore one tile.
within atmosphere and it's traveling at some ridiculous, so. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Oh, totally gonna use that.
Okay.
That's awesome.
okay, and then
I get
these.
screwed up. Oh, well,
You recover that?
So I'm gonna have.
So we're working on it? No. Are we working on it?
So next.
Eventually.
Go here.
I'm gonna explore another one.
I'd say that Rocket for Science was a huge success.
And you can do your development.
Okay, so I'm developed.
Yep. So everything. That one goes back. The black one goes back in the cup. The rest go up here.
Okay.
And I don't know what the development gives you, but that will give you
That gives me $2.
$2.
Two
at the end of the
entire
phase.
dollars.
At the end of the settle phase.
Right.
So no one's
Well-
done the settle phase. So it only happens if the settle phase happens.
Okay.
And then development.
Yep, development. I screwed up, but we got 2 on there. Nobody produced.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he's rushing the end game here, which is working.
Yeah.
And then I did a shipment, so I'm going to ship this blue die. So I'll show you how that works. I'm going to ship the blue die for money, so I'll get $1, $2, $3 out of that.
Okay.
So rather than once I did it for money.
Alright.
Okay.
So I'll go for money.
And nobody settled?
1, 2, 3,
No settles.
Okay.
What's the win condition?
So
Most points and the game ends when someone has 12 tiles.
Yeah. Or if we go through all these victory points that you get doing other things.
I'm just gonna pause at 11 and
Wait and see. Might have to. You have a lot of ones.
Boo.
Boo sweet.
Back up there, Jabba. Hey, oh, see, nothing went wrong.
Who's in there with him?
James Nelson.
I don't think I know him.
He was here last year. Ex coworker of ours.
I think he showed up at night. Of course, I showed up at night. So
Actually, last year he showed
I'd
up
say
a
that's
bunch
what
of
we're
times.
done.
Oh,
He brought code names
because
last
he
year,
lives not far, so
and he lives somewhere in the city. I don't remember where he is now.
I mean,
he could run back home and
Which was build a rocket or science.
I gotta say though, it's a little bit better this year. Last year for this event, all we heard was blood curdling screams coming from the other room. I don't know if you remember
Oh.
that.
yeah,
It
from
was like all the,
Until Dawn.
Basically, all the games we Bill had were horror games,
Lovely.
I mean, that's not
especially
cool.
like 1 in the
I
morning.
have no idea what the
It
purpose
was
is,
the
but it sounds
2 or
cool.
3 in the morning. No, maybe it was like 4 or 5 in the morning when I tried to play this war of mine. At when I was completely out of my brain already and exhausted.
Jeez.
Wrong game for that. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't even fathom what was going on.
What's
Horror was going
Ready?
on.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
So, gotta
Hey,
settle,
what a
develop.
surprise!
That's pretty good. Okay. So exploration.
Okay, so expert. So I pick 3 tiles. Or,
So you can you do them one at a time. So you can get money.
Okay.
You can get
I'll get.
tiles.
But this one goes back.
Goes in.
Okay. All right, well, I'll get $1 for that.
That's
and then,
$2. So you get $2 for each of those dice.
And then 2 tiles,
You can do it that way.
but that one goes back.
No, it needs $1 to go back.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
Alright, I'm taking 1 tile and then
I'm gonna take the money.
can I have the tile back?
Yeah.
So for the money.
Oh, so the thermometer and all that stuff.
Does he get the thing? Do you only get the dollars when you play it?
So you can with the explore action, you can get money or tiles.
Right, but I was thinking he had the card that said if somebody settled, he would get money.
Oh yeah, at the end of the settlement phase, he'll get $2 extra.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Does having 1 die of every color count towards victory point? No.
Nope.
Okay.
Actually, no, I take that back. There's a development, a 6-point development that will give you points for having 1 of each color.
I think I'm gonna get there.
And then it shows the settle. So there's 2 on there, but not everything.
Alright.
I'd like to rephrase that.
Yeah, I would
Present
say-
company
I have 4.
excluded.
I would say
Alright,
not.
so 1 and I get a red die in my cup.
Yep.
Oh, I see.
2
You're going with
and I get a
fascism.
red die in my blue die in my cup.
You just grabbed another window.
Oh, sorry.
Blue-red colorblind. That's a small problem.
And then
It's more like
That was 11,
vibrant
and this one,
pastel.
Are you serious?
and so I'm 1 away because I have -1 for green.
We got that,
Okay.
that cylinder that we put instruments on, we put versions on there too.
And no one has produced anything.
No.
Well, you had a good.
I did. I
Oh,
shipped
okay.
my good.
Got it.
Wow. Okay. This will be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So you are basically.
Yeah, I have 11.
Well,
Well,
but you have how many points, right? 3, 4, 5, 6,
One.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 points. I have 13 points. It's an interesting approach.
Alright, so what do we get points for? Just things that it says
So
on here?
you just get the points on top. If you had a 6-point development, you would get extra points. Or if you do any shipping of goods, you can ship to get points.
So right now, mascots, Mary's has got 17 points.
Alright, well,
Well, I did go for that. These don't
Yes.
count as
Wow.
anything.
No, yeah, but I'm saying just look at the list.
Yeah. But that's a good point. Thank you for counting that up.
You, on the other hand, have what, 100,000?
No, he's got 15.
does it end immediately?
Oh, I thought it was longer.
Does it end up immediately when you get 12, or can I
You go-
get like extra
You go through
settlements and
the
stuff?
You go through the phase. You could get extra. Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
you
I could
go
have
through
like
the-
14
We'll
settlements.
go through the entire
Okay.
turn,
Okay.
and then if you check your end game condition, basically. So yes, you could stock up a whole bunch of stuff potentially.
Oh, yeah, so we've got. Well, maybe I should put it, your money would go.
Cannot
Oh, okay.
make that work, can I? Shoot. Curses. Curses. Oh, I have to pick something though.
Oh, okay, so that is. This is looking good. Oh, can we fly with just this ghost thermometer? I'm pretty sure that'll work.
Ghost thermometer?
Dosimeter?
Dos Equis.
Oh. They don't.
That's right, because he did go to Mars.
Mm-hmm.
Or did he? Perhaps he went to Kerbin.
Could have.
Or Kerbal. Everything's Ker something.
I think Kerbin's the plant, or maybe Kerbin's the species, because there's like humans.
The Kerbals are the
Ker- it's-
species.
oh,
Kerbals the species.
It orbits
Kerbin.
Kerbal with an OL is the sun.
And Kerbin is the
Kerbin
planet?
is the planet.
Okay.
And the moon is moon, M-U-N.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey,
I've chosen to settle.
can't be a development because that's a setup. That's a setup.
That's
Oh, you're right. Thank you.
Okay.
I knew I was doing something wrong with the thing.
So, develop I did. Everyone else chose settle.
Because I had them flipped over wrong. That's what happened.
So here.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so settle. Okay, well, develop first.
And then no one
And these
produced or
follow.
shipped.
No one produced or shipped.
Okay.
Okay. And this stays or the blank?
It stays until you've done your development.
Okay. And then that goes there.
And so I have just settled 12.
This is great. You got a whole die back. What am I going to do with it?
Okay.
With the white dice only have single faces?
What's that?
The white dice only have single faces on them?
They
Yes.
have 3 explore and 1 of everything else.
No, the
Oh,
white,
sorry,
the white
has
dice have 2 explore and 1 develop,
else.
settle, produce, and ship.
Yep, except for wild.
No wild, no dollars.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, there's a little chart in the corner.
Okay.
And I just got 12, so.
Yeah. So 3, 4.
Oh, you just
5.
put out your 12?
Yeah.
How
Wow.
did you do that? I thought you only had 2 on it.
Yeah, but it was
It's
Yeah,
a
the
green
minus
for
for
this
this
one.
one -1.
Oh.
Teams and aiming to worlds only require 1
Oh.
per zone.
So that's the game.
All right, yay.
So,
Okay.
Because I was almost
I
out
did
of
that.
dice.
So I think I got 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
okay.
You got 17
I
now?
have,
Yeah, looks like it.
I have 17 as well. Good game.
That's close.
It's fast.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, that's one approach is to just rush the end. And that, I didn't realize you had the 1 minus, otherwise it wouldn't matter anyway.
Well, if I didn't have the 1 minus, I would have assigned
Yeah.
you the.
That's cool. So that's
Yeah.
the game.
Cool.
Yeah, everything I got was just basically, here's a direct benefit to you. Here is some money. Here is some of this. Here is
When I mean,
nothing that would allow me to do metagaming effects like your green planets cost less. Or,
right.
And that's
I had not seen it. Like I just kind of get lucky with this. Like it was either this one or like another planet that I didn't really want.
Okay. Yeah, the randomness adds some
Yeah.
interesting mechanics to it.
And it goes quick. I mean, it really is.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
especially once you know the confusing how do you do the dice thing,
Yeah.
then the rest goes like that, really.
I mean, that was like 45 minutes for just a learning game.
Yeah.
You want to jump in? I was going to make some tea.
Oh no, I'm good.
Post. Well, we have enough
Go
to.
make tea.
All right. Well, we also have enough to do.
Yeah,
Rebellion.